Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome back. Hope you're having an absolutely fantastic day. We're going to continue our series here on amazing map positions. OP bushes. Where can you go to get that massive damage assist result? And today we're going to review a map that is absolutely fantastic for spotting. We've reviewed some maps that are crap, some maps that the best spotting results always happen from the north spawn, some maps that the best spotting results always happen from the south spawn. Some maps where all the most amazing results happen on the 1-2 line. Sometimes the most amazing results happen on the 8-9 line. What's going to happen in this map? Well, he's got low noise muffler, optics, and commander's vision system, I think. I might have missed that. And he's running food, and he's in a tier 10 light tank, and he is here on, what is this map called? Redshire. Redshire is just an amazing map. Now, let me stop it right here for 1 second here, because the map has been changed by Wargaming, and it used to be that you see where that AMX 13105 is going? He's going to somewhere around here to spot the heavy tanks that cross. I'm pointing at the mini-map now. The heavy tanks that cross this gap here to go fight on the 9-0 line. It used to be that the campers sitting right here at around G5 could just shoot across because there were gaps in the topography here, and it was a broken, overpowered position to go where that AMX 13105 is going, to spot the heavy tanks from the north spawn crossing and pump them full of shots. But that's no longer the case. They changed the topography, and you'll notice now that the AMX 13105, he spotted an object 430U who's in the dip, but he's going to have trouble spotting the heavy tanks that are crossing because the map's been changed. So that's no longer the go-to spotting position. It just isn't. It doesn't work anymore. Patches ago, and the TVP... Daddy, the TVP has just exploded. Don't act so surprised, son. TVPs explode every day. Yes, I try to make these videos fun for you guys. If I made this series a few patches ago, before this map was updated, from the south spawn there would only be one option for a light tank to have that massive game, and that is to go around where the AMX 13105, actually a little farther around E7, and maybe along the bush line of that river that heads to the northeast on this map. That's no longer the case. I've said that already. I've said that twice now. And the AMX 13105 explodes. Daddy, the AMX 13105 exploded. Don't act so surprised, son. AMX 13105s explode every day. And what are you looking at? Yes, it is. You are looking at, I will show you here, just a second. It is a shirt filled with Klaus Kellerman emotes. Yes, it is. I'm wearing myself. Okay, so what have I noticed looking at the statistics on this map? Because I always go, this is a statistical analysis here that I'm doing map for map for map. And I encourage you, to help me out and to maybe learn something, to watch the whole, 1978 spotting assist. He spotted the poking object. Some maps, all the top damage assist results occur from one spawn because the map's unbalanced. Some of them. On some maps that translates into higher or lower win rate, but on a lot of them it doesn't, because some maps are not simply conducive to spotting. Some maps that the spotting is not very important have only one particular spawn where you have a chance of doing some good spotting, and I'll let you find them. I'm not going to list them here. They're all in the playlist. This map here, let me finish. Some maps, you look at the top damage result, damage assist result games, the OP map position. Look at this Manticore was trying to spot here. No, and the Manticore is going to take one. Oh, poor Manticore. He was trying to spot this bush line. Some maps, the best you can do, even the most extreme results, are 3,000-4,000 spotting assist. And some of them, it's surprising which those are. You'd guess Himmelsdorf and Ensk. You'd be correct. But for instance, Cliff. You look at the results there, and nobody does more than like 2,000 spotting assist on that map is superb. It's hard to get more. This particular map has amazing extreme results. This map is fantastic for spotting, and there is no just one way of, since Wargaming changed the that one broken piece on the 8-9 line, there's no one overpowered spot that will work every time. I've looked at the top results statistically now, right? I looked at the World of Tank replays and the top damage assist results posted out of millions of games, previous patch. And in the top 20, 30 games, just peruse through them and watch them. And you can learn something from the extreme results. Like on some maps, you peruse the top 20 results. And from the north spawn, 18 out of 20, the tank goes to H3, and it goes to that bush at H3, or in that area, spots everyone. Or in another case, the person spawning from the south goes to the 1-2 line halfway up the map and gets in that. Some of them have, they just play out. For instance, what's one, the one that has the swamp in the middle with the railway line on the one side? I can't remember what it's called. You'll have to check the playlist. On that particular map, all the top damage assist, well, I accidentally did 1,000 spotting assist here on the SD one. All the top damage assist games occur with tanks. Like 29 out of 30 of the top damage assist games go from whether the north spawn or the south spawn. A tank goes right into the middle in the swamp and parks in the bush in the middle of the swamp. All the other games, does it go up to 1-2 line, go up to 9-0 line? You don't see any of those games in the top damage assist games. Okay, so why am I telling you all that? Because some maps play out a certain way. If you want to have a chance of getting that extreme result, you pretty much have to go to certain areas. I remember one of them. I'm not going to tell you the name of the map. I'm not being very helpful today, am I? I'm not going to tell you the name of the map, but on one particular map, all the top damage result games, like 49 out of 50 of them, are all tanks playing the 1-2-3 line. The 8-9-0 line looks just as good. There's bushes, but none of the top damage result games are from tanks going to the 9-0, and I explained in that video why. There's some subtle differences. In that map with the aircraft carrier, what is it called? Sweden? You'd be surprised. You'd think, well, you go to the center line and poke the ridge line there and spot for your team and your artillery. None of the top damage results on that map are from light tanks or medium tanks poking the center ridge line. None of them. They're from tanks going to one specific spot on that map, which is very powerful for damage assist. Okay, that's the preamble. So why did I tell you all that? Because when I look at the statistics on this map, look at this map. It has bushes everywhere. It has some topography. It has some long lines of fire, but not, it's not completely flat. It's variable. Okay, this map is a good map, I'd have to say. This map is a very solid map for strategy, and it doesn't play out the same all the time like some maps. It's always the same, one choke point. What's that one with the Asian one where everyone just goes to the middle of the tanks, go to the center and just fight? There's a lot of maps that just play out the same every single time. Same choke point. But this map is very, what's the word? Dynamic. It's very dynamic. So if you look at the top 30 damage assist result games on this map, they're all different. Well, because they all play, every game plays out differently, because enemies go to different positions, teammates go to different positions, there's different angles, different lines of sight, different topography, different bushes. So on this map, you can't be the pompous douchebag Unicom, right? You can't say, well, obviously, the best position at the beginning of the game is simply to drive to E7, sit in that bush, knock down the tree first, in an easterly direction, park yourself diagonally in that bush, and once you've done 6,000 or so damage assist, then quickly move to D4, and you will dominate on the battle. You can't do that because it doesn't always play out that way. In fact, what the statistics bear out when you look at the games, and I've watched Guys, I have no life, so I've watched like 30 games. But what I do with I'll watch 30 games at fast forward, right? I'll just watch the first 5 minutes just to see where the tanks go. The tanks that have those amazing games, where do they go? Right? And I do that. It's a lot of work doing this series. So if you feel like subscribing to the channel and helping the channel grow or joining as a channel member, I'd appreciate it. But my point is, okay, I've had 2 cups of coffee today, so I'm wandering around. I mean, my conversation's going like this, but bear with me. What I'm saying is there is no one winning spot. Okay, there's no amazing play that's going to guarantee you that amazing game. All of them that I see are completely, there's lots of variations, which is good. Which is good. That means this map is going to make you think. There's a really good spot when you spawn in the north. There's a bush line right there. You see it? I'm trying to highlight right there. You see it? Behind this rock. That's a very powerful bush line from the north spawning team, a tank getting to this bush line right here and spotting everyone that was camping over there. But it doesn't, that's in previous patches too. That's how you countered the snipers. But it seems in this patch, recently since they updated the map, it's not, you don't see that with every northern spawn game. Because I guess not as many people go and snipe at G5 anymore because they've changed the map. So this map is good. It's going to make you think. But there's another takeaway, because when I do these statistics, what's important, and ooh, careful, what's important. Oh, wait a minute, before I tell you what's important on the other takeaway, the first takeaway on this map is, because it's dynamic and not everything works, is you have to do what this guy's been doing, and I've been talking over his gameplay. You have to be able to bounce the FV400. So you have to get yourself a Russian tank that can absorb 1,850 damage from huge tank destroyers. That's what you do. No, what you have to do is play. Did you notice the gameplay as I rambled on? This guy's played a very dynamic game. He went to a position that didn't do much at the beginning, and then he left. He went somewhere else, and he drove around, and he moved around a lot. He's constantly thinking, constantly moving, and that's what I see on this map as what it takes to have those amazing games. Is to, ooh, he bounced. Oh, but his teammates came through. You have to think dynamically on a dynamic map. And he ends up with patrol duty here, guys. Gets a little bit of damage, but 12,515 damage assist. So we're going to watch a game from the opposite spawn now. And this is a little British GSOR, Tier 9. He's packing Commander's Vision System, Low Noise Muffler, and Optics, and food, but no directive. And the point is, you got to think dynamically. You always have to put yourself in a position where you can spot for the firepower that you have behind you. And it's not simple on this map anymore. You have to just constantly revise your position. Let's watch this guy. He's going to go to an interesting initial position here. But the point is, I think the map is fairly balanced. I don't see on some maps, I don't see one particular spawn always having the top damage assist games. Right? It's not, the results are pretty evenly split. Oh, and he went right through that bush. That initial bush that I said is a good bush, he goes right past it. Look at this guy. This is interesting. He does an active spotting run like this. Now, he didn't have to. Let me just show you. If he would have just stopped in this bush right here at the top, he would have spotted those guys anyway, because you can see far. But he took his life into his hands and he did all the initial spotting. He didn't get detected. Is he going to go back to the bush? Okay. On some maps, all the top damage assist games are from one spawn or another. That would mean it's imbalanced as far as the spotting goes. That would really affect the win rate on the map if the map was conducive to spotting as being the key factor for that map. Luckily, that's not the case on this map. The top games are from north spawn, south spawn, north spawn, which is good because spotting is one of the main factors on this map. The victories on this map have a lot to do with which team has the best damage assist, the best light tank player. And what do we have here? We have one light tank player per side. And there's some maps that play out like that. And you can check out the previous videos in this series. There's all the Camp in a Bushka maps. Malinovka, Prokhorovka, Kampanovka, Russian tree growing in a bushka. All those maps, you know the ones. The big, lots of bushes, kind of flat, not very much topography. Those maps, the light tank driver has a huge impact on the result of the game. Okay? If you get a good light tank driver, and the enemies don't, you win. Vice versa, you lose. Typically, not always, but typically. Whereas Himmelsdorf, if this guy ends up in Himmelsdorf, there's one light tank per side on Himmelsdorf. It's a lot harder to affect the game. Right? Your team has the best light tank driver on Himmelsdorf. Who cares? On this map, it makes a huge difference, and that's why it's good that the results are evenly split north spawn, south spawn. Otherwise, the map would be broken, and there are some that are. That's why this guy has been mainly actively spotted. Right? He's poked ridge lines. He doesn't like to just sit in the bushes, and he's doing a fantastic job. And what he's doing is he's looking at his maximum detection range, the white circle on the map. He's using bushes. He's approaching where he thinks the enemies might be, putting bushes in between him and them. And now he's spotted some people, and he's just going to wait and let his teammates do their job. But you notice how he actively moved around. He didn't just go to that initial bush, the one I pointed at the beginning, and just sit there. So this is another takeaway then for this particular map, because some light tank players or medium tank players might have multiple setups with their field modifications. They might have a DPM setup, a gun rammer and vents and whatever, and they may have a vision setup. Some light tank players will have binocs and camonet setup, and then an optics and low noise muffler setup. And at the beginning of the game, they have to decide or choose which one, right? On this particular map, in the past, there would be a case made for optics, for binocs and camonet, because there were a lot of powerful bushes that you could just sit in, especially when this part of the map was broken. You could go sit close to where that RU-251 enemy, last known enemy position is, and spot all the heavy tanks there. You might say, I'm going to pack my binocs and camonet. If you get that, what is it called? Is it called Prokhorovka or Camp in a Bushka? There's a couple of bushes there. If you have camonet and binocs, you get your view range over 600. But camonet, binocs, and commander's vision system, you see some monster games. Just the right place, and you 15,000 spotting assists because you can cut through everyone's concealment. On this particular, he got himself spotted. Who spotted him? I thought you had very good concealment yourself, but someone spotted you. On this map, from the games I see, mainly requiring dynamic gameplay because there's no stagnant corridors. There's lots of places to go on this map. I'd say on this map, optics. Ditch the binocs. Ditch the camonet. You're going to be driving around a lot to have the monster game. You want to have that vision the whole time while you're moving. So optics, commander's vision system, low noise muffler. Low noise muffler to keep your concealment high. Commander's vision system to cut down the enemy's concealment. And commander's vision system cuts down enemy tanks' concealment behind bushes. And enemy tanks' concealment if they're on the move as well. Not just if they're behind bushes, but if they're on the move. So that's a must on this map if you want to do the monster detection. And you help your team win. You're going to have a higher win rate doing that, guys. If you're the light tank player and you get this map and you say, oh, I want to do damage to pad my WN8. And you click your setup where you have gun rammer, vents, and whatever. You're a detriment to your team a little bit if the other team has a better spotting tank. Your job when you're a light tank on this map is to do what these two guys have done for the south spawn and the north spawn, is to light everyone. Just drive around and keep. Look at this. Just drive. He's as soon as he's done doing the detection and the damage assist, he knows. Okay, no more targets there. Move on to the next one. Where's the last known position of the enemies? He looks at the map and he goes towards them. And that's what you want to do with a light tank and even some medium tanks. Even some medium tanks, guys. Look at this. Spotted another one. Oh. This guy, like, you'd love to have this guy, a light tank driver on your team, wouldn't you? So much easier. So much easier to have really good games when you have a smart light tank player like this. It's just an unbelievable, fantastic game. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'd have to say one of the more balanced maps, one of fantastic, makes you think map. And then look at this guy. He only got first class with patrol duty and scout. He didn't do any damage, but he ended up with 12,131 spotting assist. Leave some comments, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying the series, and check out the rest of the videos in this playlist. What do I call it? Amazing or OP amazing map positions. Maybe you'll enjoy it. Catch you guys on the next one.